It's time for our biggest man on tonight's card to get it on. Hungry Young from Korea takes on New Zealand's Gareth Ealey in the middleweight division. So let's take a look at the tail of the tape with Vaughan Blood Anderson, same age.
Same age, same weight, almost identical height. Both strikers, both aggressive. This is going to be another headbanger.
You guys have any questions? No, have a good, clean fight. Listen to me at all times. Obey my commands. Touch gloves. In your corners.
Well, this is our only middleweight clash of the evening. The biggest men you'll see tonight, and it's Yang and Ealey. Expect some early action if Yang's first fight at Legend is anything to go by. It was 3 minutes of fury with the man from the Mariana Islands, Kelvin Fitial, in the heavyweight clash only 8 months ago.
Man, you can really see his movement has gotten a lot more agile, like he said, with his weight loss. Hungry indeed, hungry for a win.
Famished. Ealey, a black belt in judo.
Yeah, kicking. You can see those cauliflower ears. He didn't get that playing the violin. Big leg kick.
He is from Christchurch in the South Island of New Zealand, but his mother is Japanese. His dad traveled to Japan, Sapporo and Hokkaido, teaching English, and met a lovely young lady, took her back to Christchurch, had a son called Gareth. He's turned into one of the best MMA artists in New Zealand.
Now Ealey's aiming, he's coming out hard, Both guys, this isn't going the distance. Both fighters throwing hard and connecting. Punches from both fighters. Both landing.
Yang opens up a cut underneath Ealey's right eye. And Yang has kept his punching power. Those heavy hands of Hungry Yang at work.
You can see Mike, the Hungry's got a better guard with his hands up tight by his jaw. Less punches are landing on him.
And if we look at the corner of Gareth Ealey, we'll see the legend welterweight champion Roy McSwain barking instructions as well. Ealey taking this fight with about 2 weeks' notice from Pat Crawley. So we wish Pat Crawley a speedy return back from injury. Hopefully he'll be right for the next Legend tournament in a couple of months' time. Late October, we're talking about. Crawley messaging on Facebook saying it'll end early for the Fists of Fury.
Big shots from both fighters. This really looks like a lightweight version of Fitial versus Hungry, huh? The other day in the interview, Ealey was such a humble, quiet guy. His face is completely changed, huh? It's a totally different person in the ring.
Yeah, he's got the smell of liniment in his nostrils, and away he goes. First couple of punches from Yang too would have woken him up nice and nice.
Nice connecting punch there. Real back and forth tonight. Both fighters throwing, both fighters connecting, and all the punches are very hard.
Feel them from here down the ringside on the Legend Fighting Championship. This tournament we're at the City of Dreams in Macau from a usual venue in Hong Kong. What a great time we've had here in Macau as well. Yang and Ealey go at it in this first round of the middleweight clash.
Both fighters seem content to keep it on their feet and trade punches. Big kicks, that's what it's been so far.
Well, we know Yang was a wrestling champion at high school, but in the 6 minutes of Legend that we've seen him in so far, we haven't seen any skills as far as wrestling goes. Really backs himself into a corner.
I'd really like to know who would be the winner if it went on the ground.
Well, we've heard about Ealey's elbows too, that he's won a couple of clashes with, so maybe if this fight goes the distance and somebody goes to ground, then we'll find out exactly what's going to go on.
And I'm telling you, both guys are throwing really hard kicks to the legs, and both are landing. I don't think they can accept kicks this hard to the legs from much longer.
Remember, in that heavyweight clash with Yang, he had a ball the size of a golf ball on the side of his temple by the time he finished with Fitial. huge. Everybody was surprised that he kept standing up after that punch.
If I was Roderick Strain in Ealey's corner, I'd really be telling him, he's going to put his hands up by his face. He drops him so much. Yan's always coming with those punches to the face.
Interesting elbow attack there before, seconds ago from Ealey too. So. Slowed down a bit in the first couple of stanzas.
Now he's got to clinch. Is he going to take him down?
Only 14 seconds of round one left.
Ealey goes down. Yan on top. He told us in the interview he wants to win with ground and pound. Let's see if he can do it.
He just to sit this one out and go to his seat at the end of round one between Yang and Ealey.
A lot of pain, a lot of punches, a lot of kicks, a lot of blood. What a great first round.
So let's take a look at some of the highlights as we see some of the beautiful women in the Legends
Look
tournament.
at Yang connecting with these punches. And Ealey too, he just doesn't care. Getting hit and keep walking forward. Bam, that's another two connecting from Yang. A third one. Then Ealey crushes in, tries to close the distance and save himself a little punishment.
Well, we've seen this from the New Zealand fighters. They're very laid back, very laconic. Once things get into the ring, they certainly mean business, but you'll see there Ealey nursing a couple of cuts from Yang in the first round.
During the first round, we heard the Team Mad coach talking constantly, and they've told us before, they are really, really focused on strategy. And the ice is going on the legs of both fighters. You see that, huh?
So get ready for a flurry of more action in round two of this middleweight clash. Yang from Korea against New Zealand's Ealey. And the crowd in Macau have been introduced to some pretty tough fighting in the first 5 minutes of this clash. Some big clubbing hits from both fighters. And again, just in that last flurry, we saw it go to ground. Just not enough time for things to work out.
And I really like Hungry's boxing. His footwork and his handwork, his defense, it's all been a big improvement, and we must credit Team Matt for that. He made the move to Busan a few months ago, lost all this weight, and come back a much stronger, more technical fighter.
In this first outing as a heavyweight,
Big low kick from Ealey. Another one.
You are a big fan of these Thai boxing type kicks, aren't you?
Oh, I just know they hurt.
Well, you've administered a few of those in your time too, Born Blood Anderson. Ealey, with his Japanese heritage, has a degree in Japanese from Canterbury University. And one of his favorite fighters is Ensign Inoue, Japanese-American fighter. He's done a lot in the last couple of months for the people of Tohoku, devastated by the earthquake and tsunami, so good work from him, and our best wishes to all the people of the coast of Japan there who've suffered so much. As they say, Gambari Tohoku.
Man, I'm really impressed by Ealey's chin. He's taken a lot of really heavy, clean blows to the jaw, to the eyes, to the nose, and he's fine.
He's got to start giving some punishment out of his own.
Remember, fight fans, Ealey is coming off a first round armbar victory 2 weeks ago, and he's back in the ring tonight. What a warrior.
I guess it helps it only lasted 1:30. Aaron Boy's in his corner as well there. You'll see him in the bottom right of the screen. An experienced veteran too from MMA. The Strike Force Academy. So these fighters trying to start a New Zealand Oh, gee, he's lost all this weight, but those hands are still ugly heavy.
Mike, if you look carefully, you can see Ealey's beginning not only to drop his guard, but open his mouth, and that's very dangerous. You don't want to take a big, heavy hit in the mouth when your jaw is loose like that. Catches the foot. Is he going to look for the takedown? Another one. There's the elbow. There's the elbow. He's so famous for that. Was beautiful. And the takedown. Now it's on the ground. Let's see what Hungry's plans are.
Come on, Yang, you're a wrestler. Get down there. Let's have some fun on the ground, Ealey's saying. No, Yang's not interested. He's got his dancing feet on after his diet. Ealey pleading with him. Wants a chance on the ground.
Seems like Hungry's changed his plan of a ground and pound finish, huh?
And referee Warren Wang will probably ask Ealey politely to get on his feet in a second, I'd say. Yeah, there he goes. Ealey has a black belt in judo. He's moved to Auckland. He was strikes force, Crawley and Rod McSwain.
Ealey is doing much better in this round. I would have given the first round to Hungry. It was back and forth action. In this round, we've seen Ealey do well, a little bit better defensively, and those great elbows, and then another big right hand connected from Ealey.
The tide might be turning here. As Vaughan Anderson says, round one, clearly with the Korean, but Ealey.
And take all these big blows to the face. Look at those hands down. Pick your hands up, man.
Now he's dishing out some power. Yang is just no interest in getting on the ground with Ealey here. And why not? He can see that Ealey's guard is down low. And Wang steps in, referee, gets them up on their feet again.
Kick to the midsection. Got him back into the corner and another hard left hand.
Ealey is taking so much punishment. What's going to happen in round three if it lasts that long? High kick there from Ealey, missing contact. We go to the last few seconds of round two. Interesting round, went back and forth, but the Korean Yang probably looking the more confident of the fighters as we end round two.
Well, we'll see in round three who's got the gas, who's going to really turn it on. Might be a change in pace here as both fighters go for broke and try to guarantee a win.
All right, then let's take a look at some of the highlights of round two.
Here's the highlights from round two. Ealey defensive, trying to throw that elbow, get him in the corner, low kicks him, has him on the run. Boom, a high kick and a punch. He's doing so well at this point. The knee to the body goes to the ground. A great takedown by Hungry. But you see, Hungry don't want anything to do with his on the ground. He hasn't once engaged.
And that is from a man who won the Korean High School National Wrestling Championship. Yang started training when he was 15 years old. So obviously this team mad from Busan have had an effect on his strategy.
And you really got to give it to Ealey. He is a tough guy.
So round three starts. 5 minutes left for these two combatants. What would you be saying in Ealey's corner?
I think he should try on the ground. You know, you can just see by the way they're standing that Hungry's got a more technical stand-up. He's landing more punches. He's doing better, and he doesn't want anything on the ground, you know? That tells me, hey, maybe go for a takedown and see what you can do on the ground. So obviously, Hungry doesn't want to go there.
Those elbows from Ealey are certainly lethal weapons. Can he move in for the takedown, Ealey? He does look like the fitter of the two fighters as we move into round three.
Ooh, a body shot from Hungry with the leg.
Hard to believe it's the same person as we saw 8 months ago.
Oh, another heavy hand.
Really tracking him now.
I can see Team Mad coaches signaling to Hungry to get him into the corner. Ealey often backs himself against the ropes like he's doing now. He's got to be careful to get out of it, stay out of the corner. That's where Hungry's going to unload and often catch him like he just did there. Amazing left hook. Yes, another big right hand. Oh, this big knee from Ealey. That doesn't take many. fight.
And we've seen that Yang has a pretty tough constitution. He took a battering in Legends 3. He's back again, and really the dominant man in this clash, as though Ealey has about 3 minutes left to turn this one around. How hard is it to back up after 2 weeks of a fight, Paul?
Well, what Ealey was saying is the fight was pretty easy, and he just kept training. He was in shape, so why not?
This may be the first time that Yang's gone 3 rounds too. I know the first 5 fights he had were pretty short-lived affairs. Some of them didn't even get out of the first minute with those big heavy hands of his, but certainly looks fit enough to last the 15 minutes of fighting, that's for sure. Yang goes to the top
Right out the ropes.
That's an interesting change in strategy there.
Whether or not he engages, Mike, I'm telling you, when you get a takedown, it scores big with the judges. Hungary is definitely up on the scorecards here. Ealey eventually is going to have to get desperate, go for broke, do some wild stuff, and hope that it works.
He's 7-1 too, so he's got some experience under his belt. He must know, he must be aware with just over 2 minutes left of this clash that he's got to get in there and score some points. Oh, that's right, the good counter punch.
Yeah, you just hear the sound of that leather smacking into his skull, huh? Oh, good connecting punch from Ealey.
Great composure from Yang as well, isn't it?
Oh, there we go.
Got to move in, keep the tempo up here.
Oh, great low kick.
So follow up. So Yang's in control. Crowd getting into this. It's good to be here at the City of Dreams in Macau. A lot of people traveling from the mainland of China and Hong Kong, especially for this evening's entertainment. And the crowd getting into it, urging the two athletes on. Well, New Zealand corner's a little subdued over there. Not too many instructions coming from the corner. Rob McSwain obviously trying to conserve his energy. Aaron Boyce, just with the odd word or two of encouragement. But he's really got to pull his finger out here, using some New Zealand power.
Oh, man. Wow. Big connections. This might be it. Yang
completely focused on the task in hand. Got to be impressed with Yang tonight. Originally, when we saw him when he was a heavyweight, he was talking light heavy. Wants to go to the UFC in the future, but if he can compete as a middleweight here, even more promise and openings could appear for him.
Hungry Yang is up on every round in my scorebook.
So Team Mad could have a successful outing first up here. Last time we saw a New Zealander lose was Daniel Digby at the hands of Jung Tie-Chuan back in Legend 2. Could this be the second loss for New Zealand fighter on the Legend Cup? And Ealey just looks a little bit bemused by the situation. 10 seconds to go. Yeah, another takedown. Really finding it easy to get Ealey to lose his balance. That was a great finish to the clash. And that was a real MMA fight that we saw there. Hungry Yang. Now he gets the chance to eat his teriyaki chicken after the fight to celebrate the victory. And as you say, Vaughan Anderson, probably pretty clear cut for the judges. Ealey with a monstrous effort. You can see him with his mouth open like a guppy, but let's take a look at some of the action in this fight, Vaughan.
Yeah, both fighters connecting. Boom, and here's a combination. Oh, and a big knee to the face. You see, both these fighters really impressed me with their ability to absorb damage like this. Look at those elbows from Ealey.
It's like
high kicks, punches.
Like a food processor, that elbow action, isn't it? Quite amazing. But having no effect on Yang, just keeping his composure brilliantly.
I got to give it up for Ealey too. That was a great performance with 2 weeks notice. Fought to the bitter end, did what he could, survived a beating. Let's see what the judges think.
Yang is certainly doing his victory celebrations. As we see here, the press-ups, and very much a team mad man now, I'd imagine. That's we're used to these antics from the team mad athletes, and he's certainly very confident that he's got this one in the bag.
After the fourth fight.
So who's won this middleweight clash? Let's find out.
After 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for decision. 經過3個回合之後，我哋以台下評判分數決定勝負。Judge Daniel Pereira scores the contest 30-27。評判 Daniel Pereira 俾30-27分。Judge Henry Chan scores the contest 30-27。評判 Henry Chan 俾30-27分。Judge Yong Kao Wai scores the contest 30-27。評判 Yong Kao Wai 俾30-27分。以一致決定勝出嘅係 for the winner by unanimous decision, Yang Hae Jun!
Very happy indeed. Hungry Yang Hae Jun dropping all that weight, training hard, switching to another team, coming back and getting the win. Look how happy he is.
Gets to throw the coach. Well, he may have lost 24 kilos, but he is a monster in the middleweight division.
I really like Ealey, though. I really hope that we see him back.
Ealey did well, backing up 2 weeks after a fight, but a loss is always tough to take. I'm sure Ealey will regroup, and we'll see him in the future back here at the Legend Fighting Championship.